He woke to a low hum that never stopped. At first he thought it was his own breathing. Slow, steady, too calm for someone who did not remember falling asleep. His eyes opened, but the light above him was not the soft white of a hospital room. It was pale blue, smooth, without a visible source. The ceiling curved gently like the inside of a shell. His name was Aaron Cole. He remembered that much. He tried to sit up. His body responded instantly, too instantly, as if it had been waiting for the command. That alone made his heart race. He paused, listening. The hum continued. Somewhere far away, metal clicked. Air moved through unseen vents. Aaron lifted his arms. That was when he saw the marks. They were thin lines at first, glowing faintly beneath his skin, starting near his wrists and moving upward in complex patterns. They did not look like scars. They looked alive. The lines shifted slightly, rearranging themselves like slow-moving light trapped in flesh. He sucked in a sharp breath. The marks pulsed once as if responding to his fear. "No," he whispered. His voice sounded strange in the room, slightly echoed. "No, no, no." He rubbed his arm hard, expecting pain, expecting something solid. The skin felt normal, warm, human. But the glow remained. Memory came back in pieces. The mission, a long-haul transport job, a broken distress signal near the edge of mapped space, his crew arguing about whether to investigate, then light, too much light, gravity failing, alarms screaming. After that, nothing. Aaron swung his legs over the side of the table. The floor beneath his bare feet was smooth and slightly warm. He stood slowly, half expecting his legs to give out. They didn't. He felt strong, not normal strong. Focused strong, like his body knew exactly where it was and how to balance. That scared him more than the marks. The room had no door that he could see. The walls were seamless, the same pale blue as the ceiling. He took a step forward. The wall rippled. A doorway opened without sound. Aaron froze. Someone stood on the other side. She was not human. She was smaller than him, slender, with pale silver skin that caught the light softly. Her eyes were large and dark, with no visible whites, reflecting faint points of blue. She wore a simple garment that wrapped around her body in smooth layers like folded fabric made of light. She smiled, not wide, not threatening, just calm. "You are awake," she said. Her voice was clear, melodic, and perfectly understandable. Aaron's heart pounded. "Where am I?" "Safe," she replied, "for now." His hands clenched into fists. "What did you do to me?" Her eyes flicked briefly to his arms. The glowing lines were brighter now, responding to his rising fear. Her smile did not fade. "I did nothing," she said gently. "The change has begun." The words hit him harder than any threat. "What change?" Aaron demanded. "You need to tell me right now." She stepped into the room. The doorway sealed behind her, the wall becoming smooth again. She moved with careful grace, like someone used to being watched. "My name is Lyra," she said. "I am an observer. You were brought here after your vessel was damaged. You should not have survived." "That's comforting," Aaron said bitterly. She tilted her head slightly, studying him. "That is why you are important." The marks along his arms pulsed again, brighter this time. Lyra noticed. Her eyes narrowed just a little, not in fear but in focus. Aaron noticed her noticing. "You're watching them," he said. "You know what they are." "Yes," Lyra replied, "and so do others." A faint sound echoed through the walls, distant but sharp. Voices, alien voices speaking rapidly in tones that made Aaron's skin crawl. "They are arguing about you," Lyra said calmly. "Arguing about what?" Aaron asked. "About whether you are a mistake," she said, "or a threat." His stomach tightened. "And what do you think?" She looked at him for a long moment before answering. "I think you are neither." Another sound cut through the air, closer this time, heavy footsteps, metal against metal. Lyra turned slightly, placing herself between Aaron and the wall. "They will want to see you," she said. "They will want to test you." "Test," Aaron repeated. "Yes." The marks on his arms suddenly burned. He cried out, dropping to one knee. The pain was sharp but controlled, like his nerves were being rewritten rather than damaged. He gasped, clutching his arm as the light spread higher, reaching his shoulders. Lyra knelt beside him. "Breathe," she said. "Do not fight it." "Easy for you to say," he snapped, teeth clenched. The pain faded as quickly as it had come. The glow dimmed, settling into a steady pulse. Aaron stared at his hands. They were shaking not from weakness but from too much energy. "What is happening to me?" he asked quietly. Lyra hesitated. "That answer is not allowed," she said. He looked up at her sharply. "Then who decides what answers are allowed?" She straightened. "The council." The wall across the room shimmered, revealing a transparent barrier. Beyond it stood several figures, tall and rigid, their forms hidden beneath armored suits that reflected the blue light harshly. Their faces were concealed, but Aaron felt their attention like pressure against his skin. The marks responded instantly. They flared bright. The armored figures reacted at once, weapons lifting. Lyra raised her hand. "Stand down," she said firmly. They did not. Aaron felt something shift inside him, not anger, not fear, awareness. He could feel the room now. The hum was not just sound, it was energy flowing through the station. He could sense the barrier between him and the others, could almost understand its structure without ever learning the science behind it. That terrified him. "Lyra," he whispered, "I don't like this." "I know," she said softly. One of the armored figures spoke, its voice distorted and sharp. "The human displays active response. This confirms the records." "Records of what?" Aaron shouted. "Of extinction," the figure replied. Lyra turned to face them. "He is stable," she said. "You do not yet know what he will become." "That is the problem," the figure said. "Neither do you." The barrier flickered as power surged through it. The hum grew louder. Aaron staggered back as the pressure increased. His vision sharpened painfully, every edge too clear, every movement too slow. "They're doing something," he said. "Yes," Lyra replied. "They are preparing containment." "Or," he asked, "or termination?" The word landed heavily between them. Aaron laughed once, short and humorless. "I wake up glowing, surrounded by aliens, and now I might be executed. This is not how I planned my week." Lyra looked at him, and for the first time something like regret crossed her face. "Humans were not meant to reach this point," she said. "What point?" Aaron demanded. She leaned closer, lowering her voice. "Adaptation." The barrier suddenly dropped. Alarms screamed. The armored figures rushed forward. Aaron reacted without thinking. He raised his arm. The marks burned white-hot. A wave of force slammed outward, invisible but powerful. The floor cracked. The armored figures were thrown back, crashing into the far wall. Silence followed. Aaron stared at his hand in disbelief. "I didn't know I could do that." Lyra looked at him with wide eyes, her calm finally broken. Neither did they. More alarms began to sound, overlapping, urgent. Lyra grabbed his wrist. "We must move, now." "Where?" he asked. "Somewhere they cannot easily reach," she replied. As they ran, the station seemed to react to him. Doors opened before they reached them. Lights shifted, guiding them through winding corridors. Aaron's breath came fast, but he did not feel tired. If anything, he felt more alive than ever. "Lyra," he said as they turned another corner, "you said humans weren't meant for this." "Why?" She glanced back at him. "Because your species was never finished." They reached a sealed chamber. Lyra pressed her palm against the wall. It opened. Inside was darkness. She turned to him, her expression serious. "What is happening to you will not stop," she said. "Others will notice, not just here." Aaron swallowed. "Others where?" She smiled again, but this time there was no calm in it, only certainty. "Across the galaxy," she said. The chamber sealed behind them as the marks on Aaron's arms glowed steadily, waiting for what came next. Darkness wrapped around them like a living thing. Aaron could still see. That alone told him something was very wrong. The chamber had no lights, no visible power source, yet faint outlines appeared around him as if his eyes were adjusting to more than darkness. Shapes formed. Edges sharpened. He could tell where the walls curved, where the floor dipped slightly, where Lyra stood just a step ahead of him. His heart pounded, but his breathing stayed steady. He did not choose that. The marks on his arms glowed softly, they're light enough to paint his skin in pale lines. They no longer burned, instead they felt settled, like a machine that had finished warming up. Lyra watched him closely. "You can see," she said. "Yes," Aaron replied, "and I don't think I should." "This chamber blocks most energy fields," she said. "Sight should be impossible." "That's reassuring," he muttered. She moved deeper into the chamber. As she walked, thin lines of light appeared on the walls, responding to her presence. The space revealed itself slowly, large, circular, filled with tall structures that looked half-grown rather than built. Aaron followed, every step silent. Behind the walls, alarms still echoed faintly, but they were distant now. The station felt tense, like a body holding its breath. "They won't stop looking for us," Aaron said. "No," Lyra agreed. "They will not." She stopped near one of the tall structures. Up close, Aaron saw that it was not metal. It looked organic, smooth and layered, as if grown over time. "What is this place?" he asked. "A record vault," she said, "not of data, of memory." "That sounds ominous." "It is forbidden," Lyra replied simply. Aaron looked at her. "Then why bring me here?" "Because you are already forbidden," she said. She placed her hand on the structure. Light rippled outward, spreading across the chamber like water disturbed by a stone. Images formed in the air, ghostly and vast. Stars, ancient ships. Beings that did not look human or like any alien Aaron had seen before. Tall figures made of shifting light and dense matter, their forms constantly adapting. "What am I looking at?" Aaron asked quietly. "The first travelers," Lyra said. "The ones who crossed galaxies before hyperspace existed." The images shifted. The beings faced environments of fire, ice, radiation, crushing gravity. Their bodies changed to survive each condition. "They were called the architects," Lyra continued. "Not because they built cities, but because they shaped life." Aaron felt a chill. "They made us. They seeded many worlds," she said. "Most species stabilized early, fixed forms, fixed limits." The image changed again. A small, fragile-looking creature appeared on a blue-green planet. Primitive, weak, human. "They did not finish with your kind," Lyra said. "Something interrupted them." "What?" Aaron asked. She hesitated. "Extinction." The architects faded from the image, replaced by darkness and scattered ruins. Aaron stared at the human figures evolving over time: fire, tools, cities, war, spaceflight. "They left us unfinished," he said slowly. "Yes," Lyra replied. "Adaptive potential without activation." Aaron looked down at his arms. The marks responded, glowing slightly brighter. "So what activated it?" he asked. "Exposure," she said. "Your species pushed into environments it was never meant to endure, deep space, unknown energies. Your body reached a threshold." "And instead of breaking," Aaron said. "You adapted," Lyra finished. A distant tremor shook the chamber, dust drifted from the ceiling. "They are sealing off this section," Lyra said calmly. "They fear what you represent." "What do I represent?" Aaron asked. She turned to face him fully. "Change they cannot control." The images shifted again. Other species appeared, advanced, powerful, but static. Their forms never changed, no matter the danger. "They built empires," Lyra said. "But every empire eventually met something it could not survive." The image went dark. Aaron swallowed. "You think humans are different?" "I think humans respond," she said, another tremor, stronger this time. Aaron felt something else then, a pressure in the air, not physical. "Intent, they're coming," he said. Lyra's eyes widened slightly. "You can sense them." "I don't know how," Aaron said. "I just know." The marks pulsed once, sharp and bright. "They have deployed suppressors," Lyra said. "Energy dampeners, they will try to shut you down." "That sounds bad." "For most species," she said. A low vibration rolled through the chamber. Aaron felt it move through his bones, testing him. His vision flickered but did not fade. Instead, something inside him pushed back. The vibration weakened. Lyra stared at him. You are resisting. I'm not trying to, Aaron said. It's automatic. Adaptive, she whispered. The wall at the far end of the chamber began to glow red. Heavy shapes moved behind it. We need to leave, Lyra said. This place will not hold. Where do we go? Aaron asked. There is a maintenance network beneath the station, she said. Old, overlooked. Let me guess, Aaron said. Forbidden. Yes. The wall burst inward. Armored figures poured into the chamber, weapons raised. This time their weapons hummed with a deeper tone, darker and heavier. Aaron felt the marks heat again. Wait, Lyra said quickly. Do not strike first. I wasn't planning to, Aaron said. A voice boomed from the front of the group. Human, you will submit to stasis. Resistance will result in disintegration. Aaron stepped forward before he could stop himself. No, he said. The word felt solid. The weapons aimed at his chest. Lyra moved beside him. He is under my observation, she said. You do not have authority here. You have exceeded your authority, the voice replied. Stand aside. The pressure in the room increased sharply. Aaron felt time stretch. He could see the weapons charging, could feel the energy building before it released. He raised his hand slowly. Don't, Lyra whispered. I'm not attacking, he said. I'm adjusting. The marks flared, but instead of blasting outward, they shifted inward. The pressure bent around him, flowing past like water around stone. The first weapon fired. The energy beam curved. It struck the wall behind him instead, carving a molten line into the surface. Silence followed. The armored figures hesitated. Aaron lowered his hand, stunned. I didn't know I could do that either. Lyra looked at him with something like awe. You didn't block it, she said. You redirected it. More weapons fired. Aaron focused, not on stopping them, but on surviving. The room seemed to respond. Energy twisted, beams bent. The air shimmered as attacks slid away from him, harmless. One blast struck too close. The shockwave knocked Aaron backward. He hit the floor hard. Pain flared, real pain. The marks surged, brighter than ever. Aaron gasped as something inside him shifted again. The pain dulled, then vanished. He was on his feet before he realized he had moved. The armored figures stepped back. This is escalating beyond projections, one of them said. You think, Aaron shouted. Lyra grabbed his arm. Enough, she said urgently. You are pushing the change too fast. I don't know how to stop, he replied. You don't, she said. You move. She activated a panel hidden in the floor. The ground split open, revealing a shaft descending into darkness. Without thinking, Aaron jumped. Lyra followed. The shaft closed above them just as the chamber shook violently. They slid down a smooth surface, slowing near the bottom as gravity shifted. Aaron landed lightly, barely feeling the impact. He stared at his hands again. They're rewriting me, he said quietly. Yes, Lyra replied. Am I still human? He asked. She met his gaze. You are becoming more human than ever, she said. You are adapting to protect yourself. They stood in a narrow tunnel, old and dim, far below the station's main systems. Above them, alarms screamed. Elsewhere across the station, sensors lit up. And far beyond that station, on distant human ships and colonies, faint signals stirred, marks that had not yet appeared but soon would. The change was no longer limited to one man. It had begun. The tunnel stretched far in both directions, narrow and uneven, like something carved long before the station was finished. The air was cooler here, heavier, and filled with a low vibration that Aaron felt through his feet. He stood still, listening. They're not following immediately, he said. Lyra looked at him sharply. How do you know that? I can feel the station, Aaron replied. He frowned, trying to explain the feeling. Not like hearing or seeing, it's more like pressure, movement, intent. That should not be possible, Lyra said. Yeah, Aaron answered. I'm getting used to hearing that. They began moving deeper into the tunnel. Dim lines along the walls flickered as they passed, reacting slowly like systems waking from a long sleep. Dust drifted in the air untouched for centuries. This place is old, Aaron said. Yes, Lyra replied. Older than the council, older than their laws. That explains why they don't like it, he said. Lyra gave a brief, tense smile. As they walked, Aaron became aware of something else. The marks on his arms were quieter now, no longer flaring wildly. They felt attentive, as if waiting for instruction. That scared him more than when they burned. Lyra, he said after a moment. If this keeps going, what do I turn into? She slowed her steps. That is what they fear most, she said, and what I cannot fully answer. He stopped. You brought me here, you helped me escape, you must know more than you're saying. Lyra turned to face him. The dim light caught her eyes, making them shine softly. I know what happens when species change too quickly, she said. I have seen worlds burn because of it. Aaron's jaw tightened. So you think I'm a danger? I think you are a choice, she replied. Before he could respond, the tunnel shook violently. A deep, echoing pulse rolled through the metal walls. They found the access routes, Lyra said. They are cutting through. Aaron closed his eyes briefly. When he opened them, he could see faint outlines far above, moving shapes heavy and deliberate. They're spreading suppressors, he said, trying to lock this whole section down. Lyra stared at him. You see that through solid structure. I don't see it, Aaron said. I feel it, another pulse, stronger. Aaron stumbled as pain flared through his chest. The marks reacted instantly, spreading faintly across his shoulders and neck before settling again. Stop, Lyra said urgently. Do not let it expand further. I didn't tell it to, Aaron replied through clenched teeth. They resumed moving faster now. The tunnel opened into a wide chamber supported by massive columns. Broken machinery lay scattered, silent and forgotten. This was once a transfer hub, Lyra said. Before hyperspace lanes made it obsolete, Aaron barely listened. His attention was fixed on the far side of the chamber. Something was there, not soldiers, something else. Lyra, he said quietly, we're not alone. She followed his gaze. I see nothing. A shape stepped forward from the shadows. It was tall, thin, and unarmored. Its skin was dark and matte, absorbing the light rather than reflecting it. Its eyes glowed a deep amber. An elder, one of the council's highest members. You should not be here, the elder said calmly. Lyra stiffened. Elder Keth, she said, you have no jurisdiction in this sector. This sector is compromised, Keth replied, by him. The elder's gaze fixed on Aaron. The pressure was intense, like being examined down to the bone. Aaron resisted the urge to step back. You're the one who decided to kill me, Aaron said. Keth tilted its head slightly. We decided to preserve the galaxy. That's a convenient excuse, Aaron replied. The human exhibits accelerated adaptation, Keth said, ignoring him. It is progressing faster than projections. That is because you are provoking it, Lyra said. Your suppressors are forcing his biology to respond. Then it will exhaust itself, Keth replied, or break. Aaron felt anger rise, but the mark stayed calm. No, Aaron said, you're wrong. Keth turned its gaze back to him. Explain. Aaron took a breath. He didn't know how he knew what he was about to say. The knowledge felt borrowed, rising from somewhere deep inside. You think adaptation is chaos, he said. You think it's uncontrolled, but it's not, it's response. You push, I adjust. Keth studied him. You are assuming control you have not earned. Aaron stepped forward. Then test me. Lyra grabbed his arm. Aaron, no, it's fine, he said quietly. I need to know too. Keth raised one hand. The air thickened instantly. Gravity increased, pressing down on Aaron's shoulders. His knees bent as the weight doubled, then tripled. Pain flashed. The marks flared, but instead of spreading, they tightened, locking into sharper patterns. Aaron gritted his teeth and stood. The gravity shifted again, becoming uneven, crushing from different angles. Aaron's vision blurred, then steadied. His body adjusted, muscles reinforced, balance shifted. He stood upright. The chamber trembled. Keth's eyes widened slightly. Impossible, Aaron exhaled slowly. You've been static too long, he said. You forgot what change looks like. Keth lowered its hand. The pressure vanished. Silence fell. You are unstable, the elder said. You will spread this instability. Humans already spread, Aaron replied. Ideas, movement, survival. Lyra looked between them, fear and hope battling on her face. Keth stepped back. Containment will continue, it said. If not here, then elsewhere. The elder turned and faded back into the shadows. The moment it vanished, Aaron collapsed to one knee. Lyra rushed to his side. You pushed too hard, she said. I'm still me, Aaron replied weakly. That counts, she helped him stand. Barely. They moved on, deeper into the maintenance network. The tunnels grew narrower, more damaged. Power flickered irregularly. As they walked, Aaron felt something new, not threat, connection, far away, very far, other humans. He staggered, grabbing the wall. Aaron, Lyra asked. I can feel them, he whispered. Others like me, not changed yet, but close. That is not possible, she said. It is, he replied. The signal isn't the marks, it's the trigger, exposure, stress, survival. He looked at her. Your council didn't create this, they just woke it up. A loud explosion rocked the tunnel behind them. Dust and debris filled the air. They are collapsing the network, Lyra said. They want to bury you. Aaron straightened slowly. The exhaustion faded as the marks pulsed again, carefully, deliberately. No, he said. They want to slow me. He placed his hand against the wall. For a moment, nothing happened. Then the metal softened, not melted, rearranged. The tunnel widened, reshaping itself around his hand. Lyra stared. You're altering matter. Aaron pulled his hand back, breathing hard. I didn't mean to. But you did, she said softly. They reached the end of the tunnel, a massive sealed hatch leading to the station's lower hangars. Heavy locks engaged. They'll be waiting, Lyra said. Aaron nodded. I know. He paused, then turned to her. You can still leave. She shook her head. I crossed that line when I smiled. He almost laughed. Aaron placed his hand on the hatch. The marks glowed steadily, not violently. The locks disengaged one by one. Beyond the door, armed forces waited, dozens of them. Aaron stepped forward, not as a weapon, not as a monster. As a human who refused to be erased. And across the galaxy, something ancient listened and responded. The hangar was silent when Aaron stepped through the open hatch. Not empty, silent. Dozens of armored figures stood in perfect formation across the wide space. Heavy weapons were raised but not firing. Overhead lights glowed a harsh white, reflecting off metal floors and towering ships locked in place by energy clamps. Lyra stopped beside him. They are waiting for a mistake, she said quietly. Aaron nodded. He could feel them now, not just the soldiers but the systems, the power lines running through the hangar, the ships resting like sleeping beasts. Everything was tense, balanced on the edge of action. At the far end of the hangar, a raised platform shimmered into existence. Elder Keth appeared again, larger than before, projected through layered energy fields. You persist, Keth said. That alone confirms our fears. Aaron looked up at the projection. His voice was calm when he spoke. You keep calling me a problem, but I'm still alive. That means something. It means you are unfinished, Keth replied, and unfinished things are dangerous. Lyra stepped forward. So were your ancestors, she said, before they learned restraint. Keth did not look at her. Restraint is survival. No, Aaron said. Adaptation is. A ripple of movement passed through the soldiers. Weapons adjusted, tracking him. Aaron raised his hand slowly, not in surrender but to show he carried nothing. The marks along his arms glowed faintly, steady and controlled. I don't want to fight, he said. But I won't disappear just to make you comfortable. Keth's projection flickered. You believe this is about comfort. The hangar floor trembled. Far above, deep within the station, massive engines powered up. Emergency signals flashed across the walls. They're preparing to jump the station, Lyra whispered, with you still on it. Aaron felt the truth of it instantly. The station was being severed from local space, ready to be sent into a dead region, empty, lightless, unreachable. They're going to exile the problem, he said. Yes, Lyra replied, along with anyone too close to it. The soldiers did not move. They were not meant to survive this either. Aaron closed his eyes. For the first time since waking up, he did not resist the marks. He listened. The hum of the station became clear. Not noise structure. Energy flowed like blood. Systems spoke in patterns, in logic, in limits. He felt the jump sequence begin, and he understood it. Aaron opened his eyes. "No," he said softly. The word carried weight. The marks brightened, not violently but deeply, like stars settling into place. Power rippled outward from him, not as a blast but as alignment. The station's system stuttered. Jump calculations froze mid-process. Alarms changed tone. Confusion spread through the hangar. "What did you do?" Lyra asked, awe in her voice. "I didn't stop it," Aaron said. "I corrected it." Keth's projection distorted. "You are interfacing with technology you cannot comprehend." Aaron shook his head. "I don't need to comprehend it, I just need to survive it." The jump engines powered down. Silence fell again, but this time it was different, uncertain. Across the hangar, soldiers began to lower their weapons, not because they were ordered to, but because something in them understood the shift. Keth's voice hardened. "This ends now." Energy surged around the platform. The projection solidified, becoming physical. Elder Keth stepped down onto the hangar floor. Up close, the Elder was taller than Aaron, its presence heavy and ancient. "You are a risk multiplier," Keth said. "One human becomes many. Many become uncontrollable." Aaron met its gaze. "You're afraid of what you can't freeze in place." Keth raised one hand. The air thickened again, stronger than before. Gravity crushed downward. Metal groaned. Several soldiers staggered under the sudden weight. Aaron dropped to one knee. Pain exploded through him. The marks flared sharply, spreading across his chest and back in blazing patterns. Lyra cried out, "Stop! You will kill him!" "No," Keth said. "We will stop him." Aaron gasped, hands pressed to the floor. His vision blurred, but something else filled the space where fear should have been. Connection. Not just distant humans this time. Resolve. Across human space, ships struggling in storms, colonies facing radiation leaks, crews trapped in failing hulls, people pushing to survive. The same trigger, the same response. Aaron felt it not as power given but as strength shared. He pushed against the crushing force. Slowly, painfully, he stood. The gravity field warped around him, bending instead of breaking him. Keth stepped back for the first time. "You are not alone," the Elder said, voice tight. "That is unacceptable." Aaron straightened fully. The marks settled into stable, intricate lines, glowing softly. "No," Aaron said, "that's humanity." He reached out not to attack but to stabilize. The gravity field collapsed harmlessly. Soldiers fell to one knee, stunned but alive. Silence returned. Keth stared at Aaron. "If you spread," it said, "the balance of the galaxy will break." "Or it will finally adapt," Aaron replied. Lyra stepped forward, standing beside him openly now. "You fear extinction," she said. "So do we. That is what makes this common ground." Keth was quiet for a long time. Then slowly it lowered its hand. "The Council will not approve this," the Elder said. "They don't have to," Aaron replied. "Not anymore." Keth's form flickered. "You will be watched," Aaron nodded. "That's fair." The Elder vanished, withdrawing its presence from the hangar. The station's alarms faded. Systems returned to normal function. Around them, soldiers stood down fully, unsure but no longer hostile. Lyra let out a slow breath. "You just changed interstellar law." Aaron looked at his arms. The marks were dim now, calm and permanent. "I didn't mean to," he said. She smiled softly. "You never do." Hours later, a human evacuation ship departed the station. Aaron stood at the viewport, watching the alien structure shrink into the distance. "You could have stayed," Lyra said quietly behind him. "So could you," Aaron replied. She shook her head. "My place is here for now." "Someone needs to explain what just happened." He turned to her. "They won't like it." "I know," she said. "That's how change works." The ship jumped. Days later, across the galaxy, reports spread quietly. Humans surviving impossible conditions. crews adapting to radiation. Bodies responding faster, healing stronger, not monsters, not weapons, survivors. Aaron stood on Earth's soil again, feeling gravity he had grown up with, sunlight warm on his skin. The marks were still there, faint and hidden beneath clothing. He knew they always would be. Humanity had not been chosen. It had endured. And now the galaxy would have to learn what humans had always known. When pushed far enough, they adapt.